As Alright, Tank will bring you up.
Comment?
Nah, but that's what I want to. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
Always go like this. Always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you're going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you're going out.
Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach had a violent altercation during their first face-off in New York City ahead of their August rematch. The tension from their previous fight, Fearless, quickly boiled over, leaving no room for a slow build-up. Davis, visibly enraged, swung at Roach, igniting chaos before the event could even begin. The scuffle shocked fans and officials alike, and it's likely Davis will face a fine or disciplinary action from the New York State Athletic Commission, or the WBA. The incident has added even more fuel to an already heated rivalry.
We've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like, we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking, that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what
all it takes for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want to. I don't want you to fight me like you saying.
There wasn't a formal press conference, just a scheduled face-off for media photos ahead of their August rematch. As Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach stood face-to-face, Roach leaned in and whispered something in Davis's ear. At first, Davis didn't catch it and asked him to repeat it. That's when all hell broke loose. Roach's words struck a nerve. He referenced a comment Davis had made during their last press conference about bringing the women in his family to the fight. The remark triggered Davis, and the situation exploded into a violent confrontation.
Now, I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah.
Now watch this.
Now
watch.
Now
watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes?
What are your thoughts on it? It seems like almost universally, people A, thought you fought an amazing fight, and B, thought you won it and it got taken from you. What has that outpouring meant to you as a fighter?
It meant a lot to me, man. The core boxing fans and even the spectators across the world, man, just it shows their support. It shows that everyone saw what happened that night. Everyone saw.
Roach whispered, "We've never seen your mama before. Bring her to the fight, let her see you lie lifeless." The brutal remark set Gervonta Davis off. He grew louder, fired back with insults, and ultimately threw punches at Roach before security rushed in to separate them. What was meant to be a simple face-off quickly turned chaotic. If this encounter proved anything, it's that the upcoming rematch between Davis and Roach will be fiercer, more violent, and deadlier than their first clash.
From 10 minutes ago,
you know how when they told you said how like I supposed to fought Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body.
Boxing fans aren't staying calm after the heated face-off. One fan commented under the leaked video, "I love that Tank has finally found his match in Lamont, someone who'll look him in the eye and stay fearless. Can't wait for August." Another wrote, "Damn, Lamont knows how to rattle Tank. He finally found someone crazier than him. I love that Lamont does it subtly, without aggression. I'm impressed, and I hope Lamont wins this." The buzz around this rematch is intense. Someone's definitely getting knocked out.
Boogie, I mean, he said he feels like you've been talking a little bit too much. What do you take away from that? And do you feel that you have been talking a little too much, or is it just more of a confidence that, I know what I can do?
Hey, what I'm supposed to say? Hey, ask me questions. What I'm supposed to say?
Yeah.
Oh, he going to do like, normally 9 times out of 10, the questions start with, oh, Tank's a knockout power puncher, blase, blase. What are you going to do? Yeah, what? Yeah. I'm going to say what I got to say. I know what I can do. That's what I'm supposed to.
Everyone saw what happened that night. Everyone saw the true outcome. Even though we didn't get it on the scorecard, everyone knows, and that's the importance. Even throughout this appeal situation, they were supportive and thinking that the fight should have been overturned, and that's what really matters. That everyone knows. So yeah, we didn't get it on paper, but in the hearts of everyone who watched that fight, and especially the ones that are sensible, they know what happened that night, man.
So, Gary, of course, the important question on everyone's mind, how close is the rematch?
Third Tank supporter quipped, "When he finally gets knocked down by a revived Tank, I hope you all remember this moment. I really need this rematch. Too many boxing casuals need to be silenced." Another fan added, "I'm indifferent about who wins. I just love competitive matches. And I'm glad Tank finally found his match after ducking his contemporaries. Lamont will give him a tough one. I wish them both good luck. Hopefully, no more ducking after this." The rematch has sparked strong opinions and even stronger anticipation.
See? I mean, you ain't too shy saying what you gonna do, right?
I am now.
You are now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mom Dukes right there.
It's alright. Yeah, but like I said, it's not like I'm talking too much. They ask questions. That's what they do. You know how they do. That's honestly why.
World Boxing Association lightweight champion Gervonta Davis doesn't appear too interested in engaging with fans on social media, especially when it comes to his fashion. The Baltimore native, known as much for his knockout power as his bold style, recently had a brief but telling interaction with a follower on X. The fan, recognized for their own daring fashion sense, seemingly critiqued Davis's outfit after the boxer posted a selfie. Davis, 30, who often turns heads with high-end designer pieces and custom looks, was quick to shut it down, making it clear he wasn't in the mood for any negative comments about his drip. The message was simple: fashion opinions are welcome, just not when they're aimed at Tank's fit.
Train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more, and I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound for pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
That's what they do. You know how they do. That's honestly why he don't tend to media for real. They ask too many questions.
Absolutely.
That's just what they do. They ask questions that 9 times out of 10 you answer it. They, you know what I'm saying, use one part of the sentence for clickbait. Come Saturday, man, y'all gonna see. My prediction is in the new.
Back to you, Tank. You heard his prediction. He says it's going to be and the new. He's going to be...
Gervonta Tank Davis stepped out in style, rocking a black custom pair of chrome hearts trousers, a crisp white t-shirt, a sleek hat, and a gleaming gold watch. He accessorized with layered diamond-encrusted chains, a designer tote bag, gray sneakers, and a backpack slung casually over his shoulder, blending high fashion with streetwear flair. While many fans admired the look, one playfully commented, "Just throwing anything on, but it works all." However, the light-hearted remark didn't sit well with the undefeated champion. Davis quickly clapped back, writing in a now-deleted tweet, "Hey, I got time, leave me alone." The reaction made it clear. Tank might serve looks, but he's not open to unsolicited fashion critiques.
Back to you, Tank. You heard his prediction. He says it's going to be and the new. He's going to be a 2-division world champion. What's your prediction? Going Saturday.
Bro. You know what I come to do, man. You know why I'm here. I don't want to see too much of my views over there, of course. I keep it polite. But, yeah, I know. Fight.
Gervonta Davis later reposted a fan's tweet that read, "Grieving will make you so mean," following his tense exchange with a follower over a fashion comment. The moment comes on the heels of his controversial majority decision draw against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. in March. Their heated rivalry is now set to resume in a highly anticipated rematch on August 16, 2025, in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has weighed in on Roach's chances, suggesting Davis could be in serious trouble once again. Speaking to the ring, Stevenson said, "I know what Tank is dealing with. He's got to be better than whatever he was the last time." He praised Roach's grit and determination, adding, "I know that Lamont Roach has been waiting on this opportunity his entire life." Although Stevenson hopes Davis wins, believing it would set up a massive fight between the two, he's not entirely confident it will be an easy night for Tank. "It worries me in the fact that I don't get my opportunity to fight him as an undefeated fighter," Stevenson admitted. Confident in his own bout against William Zepeda on July 12th, Stevenson is watching closely, hinting that an upset might be looming. That said, it seems Gervonta Davis isn't open to any fashion critiques from fans on social media, though the original comment didn't appear harsh to begin with. Was Davis's response justified, or did he overreact? Davis and Lamont Roach shook up the boxing world when they clashed on March 1st. With Davis's WBA lightweight title on the line, many expected him to dominate, entering the fight with a perfect 30-0 record, including 28 knockouts. However, the bout didn't go as predicted. It turned into a gritty back-and-forth war, with Roach pushing Davis harder than anyone anticipated. In a bizarre moment, Davis even took a deliberate knee in the 9th round, a move that was surprisingly not counted as a knockdown, sparking controversy among fans and analysts alike. Gervonta Davis retained his WBA lightweight title through a controversial majority draw and is now set to rematch Lamont Roach. Weighing in on the first fight, WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez shared his thoughts on the Pound for Pound podcast with Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. "They should have counted it as a knockdown," Benavidez said, referring to the moment Davis took a knee in the 9th round. "If they had, the fight would have gone to Lamont Roach. Roach came prepared." Benavidez also criticized Davis's approach and mindset. "What I didn't like was how Tank was gassing up Lamont Roach, giving him too much respect. He was talking about retiring and just wanting to get the money. That's not the same Gervonta Davis we're used to seeing." While Benavidez called Davis a "fing beast," he suggested two key factors influenced the performance: their shared amateur history, implying Roach may simply have Davis's number, and Tank's lack of mental sharpness. "That probably played a big part," he added. "But I really didn't like that retirement talk." Lamont Roach Jr. entered the fight as a massive underdog, with almost no one backing him to win. Most expected Gervonta Davis to steamroll him, like a flash chasing a turtle. However, in one of recent boxing's biggest surprises, Roach matched Davis's skills, power, and durability. Instead of a clear win for Davis, the fight ended in a majority draw. Shakur Stevenson was so confident in Roach's ability that he bet on the fight going the full 12 rounds, and he won that wager.
They go win the winner right there, you know what I'm saying? We got to give Lamont Roach credit right now, because
We just compared him to two of the top junior welterweight, junior.
So confident was Shakur Stevenson in Lamont Roach that, despite his rivalry with Gervonta Davis, he attended the fight live at the Barclays Center. His deep knowledge of Roach from their amateur days clearly paid off. While many top amateurs fade in the pro ranks, Roach hasn't, something Stevenson acknowledged. Speaking to Cigar Talk, Stevenson, who has been pursuing a unification bout with Davis, said he believes Roach actually won the fight. This adds another layer to the anticipation and pressure building ahead of their upcoming rematch.
Because I feel as though Tank didn't understand or realize how good Lamont was, so he kind of was sleeping on him.
I saw Lamont winning, Stevenson said. I really felt like he was in control for most of the fight. Tank had some good moments, especially when he stayed technical and boxed. But when he tried to brawl, Lamont was sharper and more on point. Stevenson, who's held the WBC title since late 2023, believes Davis underestimated Roach. I feel like Tank didn't fully realize how good Lamont was. He was sleeping on him. Lamont caught him off guard with shots Tank wasn't used to. When those punches started landing, it surprised him. This insight highlights why Stevenson thinks the rematch will be even tougher for Davis.
I felt as though Lamont was catching him when he was unexpected. So he'll throw, he's not used to a certain shit coming back.
When asked if his opponent was hurt during the fight, Shakur Stevenson didn't hesitate. Hell yeah, for sure. He recalled a moment when Tank threw a left hand and caught Lamont, but Roach immediately fired back, wobbling Davis. Tank clearly felt Roach's power. The fight against Lamont Roach Jr. has shaken Davis's career and become the boxing world's hottest topic. Even his rival, former undisputed lightweight champion Devin Haney, has weighed in on what happened that night in New York. A key moment that overshadowed Davis's once pristine record came in the 9th round, when he dropped to one knee and rushed to his corner to have his face wiped. A move that surprised many and added fuel to the ongoing debate about the fight's outcome.
Think he got hurt in the fight?
Hell yeah, for sure. Matter of fact, it was a part of the fight where Tank...
It was later revealed that the grease dripping into Davis's eyes came from his hair, but the fact that referee Steve Willis didn't punish him, even though he had started a 10 count, didn't sit well with fans. Lamont Roach Jr. even submitted a request to have the fight's result overturned in his favor. Devin Haney shared his thoughts on the fight and the no-knockdown ruling in an interview with The Ring. Given the dynamic between Davis and Haney, his opinion was highly anticipated, but Haney made some solid points. I thought it was a good fight overall, Haney said. I always knew Lamont wasn't coming to lay down. Having known Roach Jr. since childhood and fought him in the amateurs, Haney was genuinely surprised by how well Roach performed on fight night, proving he belonged at the high.
So we came up the amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming there to fight. But he did a lot better than.
He was coming to fight and did way better than I expected, Haney said. When asked who won, he confidently replied, I thought Roach Jr. won the fight, personally. Haney also criticized the no-knockdown ruling, calling it unheard of, and the first time he'd seen something like that with his own eyes. Haney shares a close, sometimes tense relationship with Davis, and many fans have been demanding a fight between them, one that, despite the anticipation, still hasn't happened.
I thought he won the fight personally. The no knockdown, that was unheard of. That was the first one I heard.
Devin the Dream Haney is set to face Jose Carlos Ramirez on May 2nd at Times Square, New York, on the Fatal Fury card alongside Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez in separate bouts. Meanwhile, Haney isn't the only one puzzled by the no-knockdown ruling in Davis's majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. Oscar de la Hoya, head of Golden Boy Promotions, also weighed in on the controversy. Speaking on DAZN's Aerial Extra boxing show, de la Hoya said, In any sport, you can take a timeout. Football allows it. Davis should have been deducted a point for taking a knee in round 9.
Ever seen Lamont with 2 eyes.
Yeah, you were, you made some comments. I wanted to see the backflip, and I'm surprised Tank didn't say nothing back to you about that.
In boxing, there's 3 minutes for a reason, and a referee for a reason, De La Hoya continued. If you follow the rules in New York, that should have been a point deduction. Taking a knee should be an automatic point. While Davis's fate now hangs in the balance with the New York State Athletic Commission, both fighters have expressed openness to a rematch. However, the possibility of that fight remains uncertain. With this one mistake, Davis has given his critics plenty of ammo. What happens next won't just shape his future. It could define his entire legacy in the sport.
States, you must take a point away. If you go to your corner while you're fighting, like, wait, that's against the rules. Right. So it's disqualification. So it's like
the problem child hopped onto his X account to share his take on the Davis-Roach fight, believing that Gervonta Davis did enough to get past Roach. He said, "Roach showed out, but I thought Tank edged it out. A draw if you count the knee as a knockdown. Tank was more precise, landed bigger shots, and more than anything I thought it would be easy freaking work. Tell me something different." Many criticized Paul's comments, pointing out the massive weight difference. Paul competes at cruiserweight, while Tank is a lightweight champion. This isn't surprising, considering Paul's reputation for choosing fights where his opponents are either significantly smaller or much older than he is.
Draw, he did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, you gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned. But god damn, that's not the money I know.
Paul was hoping for a showdown with top boxing star Canelo Alvarez. By far his most credible opponent yet. That's all for now. For the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and more, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss our quality content. Until next time, peace.